So with the anthems complete, the stage is set. Ruslan Chagaev is ready to do battle.
Hasn't fought in over a year.
And remember the situation, folks. Chagaev can lose this champion and recess title, but Drummond can't win it. So for Drummond, this is more or less a elimination fight because he most assuredly will get a shot, as the WBA will rank him right up there to get a shot at the world title. But for Ruslan Chagaev, it's a chance for a warm-up fight, but a warm-up fight against a dangerous man who nobody knows very much about. A 26-0 guy with 20 knockouts in Drummond. And Drummond is 2 inches taller. He's a couple of pounds heavier. He's 3 years older, and he's going to have a couple of inches in reach advantage.
Very athletic is Carl Davis Drummond. That's what I liked about him. See him in the gym, seeing the way he works out. Excellent athlete, great skills, and now he's going to put it to the test against Chagaev.
And he looks like he's been in the gym for more than a couple of months.
Yeah, 4 months he's had to train for this fight.
Unified rules of boxing, 10-point must-scoring system, no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. A fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round, and only the referee can stop the fight.
Okay, chuck the glove and good luck. Buena suerte. Choca los guantes, vamos. Okay?
Gustavo Padilla, the third man in the ring from Panama. The judges, Afu from Panama, Leglan from France, and Paul Thomas from the UK. I'm the Colonel Bob Sheridan. With me is Benny Ricardo. Action about ready to go in this WBA heavyweight championship fight from the Stadthalle in Rostock, Germany. Both fighters have on black trunks, so the guy with the white on top is Drummond. Let's see how Drummond goes after him. He's waiting right now. You notice that Chagaev is a southpaw, jabbing with the right hand. Michael Moore and Chris Bird, the only other recent heavyweight champions that were southpaws. There may be the only 2 other southpaw heavyweight champs. I can't think of another one anyway.
And I like to describe Chagaev's punching style as almost like a demolition ball, that it hits a building, hits a building, hits a building, hits a building, eventually it's going to crumble.
Yeah, but with Chagaev, a lot of his fights have been very, very close. As a matter of fact, he had 2 majority decisions over the one over Valuev, which is the most important one, and then another one against Vladimir Verchis. He had a split decision win over Johnny Ruiz. He did have a unanimous decision in his last fight, and he had a TKO win over Miguel Sprout. So he's had a lot of close decisions that have gone his way. So the opportunity is here for Drummond.
His last fight for Chagaev was against Matt Skelton. That was a 12-round decision. Whereas on the other hand, on the part of Drummond, Alejandro Agustin Alvarez went down in 1 round. He also fought Kelvin Davis. There's a name that kind of jumps out right there. For Carl Davis Drummond, he got a 10-round decision over Kelvin Davis. Very stout heavyweight. Should actually be fighting probably as a light heavyweight.
Yeah, he fought most of his career lighter than heavyweight. And, Drummond handled him. But Kelvin Davis at that time when he fought him was a pretty good banger, and he was able to hang in there with him. Right now, Drummond is kind of pawing with his jab. He's got to step up and start making that into a punch. You can see he has the advantage in reach. Right now, he's just trying to feel out Chagaev in the early going, and this is okay. Chagaev loaded up that left hand, though, didn't he? That's his power punch right down the middle.
And again, it is a compact shot that he shoots out. A demolition ball that goes into the body of Carl Davis Drummond.
Chagaev from Uzbekistan. He's not a Russian, but from the Eastern Bloc.
Yeah, his parents settled there in 1950. Stellar career as an amateur.
Drummond goes to the body early.
Still a little too upright, though.
But, you know, he looks very relaxed, Benny, to me, which is good. He's not uptight. There's a lot of pressure on him fighting in Germany, fighting for what, for all practical purposes, a heavyweight championship fight for him, because the big money fight will come on the heels of this if he can knock this guy off. This is a big stepping stone for him. If he loses to Chagaev, he goes back in the pool. So the bell ends round 1. There wasn't a heck of a lot between the 2 guys in that round.
I'm going to give it to Drummond, though. I thought he threw more shots. took the fight to Chagaev.
Immer wieder aufpassen, ja, schön die Augen offen lassen, immer wieder aufpassen, schnell bewegen mit seinem Jab, ne?
Boy, the eyes tell the intensity of this trainer.
Will Surprise machen, ne? Überraschung, ne? Du bist immer wieder aggressiv.
Michael
Und du musst
Tim.
mal eine Überraschung machen, hast du gut gemacht, ne?
And here is some of the action, round number 1. Couple of shots. Glancing blows right there by Chagaev.
Good body shot that time, right in the chest. Backs off big Drummond.
There's John David Jackson in the corner of Carl David Drummond.
Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Let's work. Let's go.
John David Jackson's done a nice job with several fighters. All right, here we go. This is round number 2. Scheduled for 12 rounds. I'm the Colonel Bob Sheridan. With me is Benny Ricardo. Our principals in the Stadthalle in Rostock, Germany. Carl Davis Drummond, the kid from Costa Rica, in the black trunks with the white trim, circling around the WBA champ, Ruslan Chagaev.
Drummond, who weighed as little as 196 pounds when he started out. Now he looks very, very good at 229 at the age of 33.
Well, at age 33, he's got to get it done tonight, or he probably, goes way back in line with the heavyweights. Although sometimes to lose in the heavyweight division, you come right back and get another shot. So who knows? But Leon Margulies did a great job from Warriors Boxing down there in Florida to be able to get him this shot. And I think originally when they signed it, thought it was the title could change hands, but that isn't the way it worked out. And you can understand that from the WBA standpoint. They let this guy hold the title in recess because he couldn't perform. And the WBC did virtually the same thing with Vitaly, only they called him the champion emeritus. He came back and won his title.
And boy, this crowd is just waiting to erupt with anything Chagaev does. One of the things you can also expect when you see a southpaw against an orthodox fighter is the stepping of the feet. You're going to see that constant stepping of each other's feet there as they come in.
I'll tell you, Drummond's got to pick up the pace a little bit more, and he's got to, establish the fact and establish his power with Chagaev. Otherwise, Chagaev will just get in a groove and outbox this guy.
And for Chagaev, there's got to be some questions. He hasn't fought in over a year, so that's a chance for Drummond to come in there and force the action right off the bat.
Well, I'd be coming in. I'd try to fight him a little closer than this. I'd be throwing big shots coming in. I'd be laying on his body, leaning on him, putting weight on that heel as much as I could. I'd really test him. I mean, this is a shot of a lifetime. And I'm sure Drummond knows this, and he's been training for 4 months, and I'm sure this is all in his mind. His stance a little bit on the wide side to cut loose with that right hand.
But an Achilles injury, the problem is going back. So I would try to find a way on the part of Drummond to try to force Chagaev to go back and test that.
The trouble with an Achilles, Benny, as an athlete, I had an Achilles when I was playing baseball and hockey for 2 seasons, and they can only tape it one way. You can either tape it forward or back, and it's a real problem. But he had a ruptured Achilles where they had to operate and completely rehabilitate it. But I don't know which is better, to have a lingering Achilles or get it repaired totally, surgically.
Chagaev got in a right hand that time.
10 seconds, 10 seconds.
Closing seconds of the second round. All right, the bell ends it. Oh, that's for sure. This is round 3 at Stadthalle in Rostock, Germany. Now, Drummond has got to pick up the pace. I'll tell you one thing you won't do in Germany if you're coming here from Costa Rica or the United States. You're not going to come here and get a close decision. So,
even if you have international judges?
Yeah, it doesn't make any difference. It doesn't seem to make any difference over the years.
Hector Afu from Panama, Jean-Louis Jolin from France, Paul Thomas in UK.
I mean, when you take a look at all the close fights that Blue